So I've got a customer who has an exit device which is discontinued, and they want to add the ability to have card access on the outside. So you want to be able to get in electrically from the outside. And the device they have has been discontinued because it has been. And what would make that work from the outside, from a card reader or a keypad?
Got to release though.
Got to release the latch bolt, right? So what the client has opted to do is add a magnetic lock, a mag lock up at the top of the door, and the question then becomes: is getting in will work in the sense of your keypad card reader, but you still have that manual exit device that's latched.
If the electricity's on, you ain't gonna open that door.
You won't open that door. You'll release the mag, but you won't pull it open. So what the client said they did was that they're going to keep the exit device dogged all the time, hex key dogging.
Open?
Yeah, the latch pulled back all the time. So now he'll be able to swipe and get in.
And always leave.
Well, you can't leave because there's a mag lock. So on the inside, what he added, and this is okay, is a motion detector, a passive infrared motion detector. And code would require the addition of a push button that says exit within 60 inches of the doorway. That's all good. And that's exactly what the client did. So on the inside, the way you're going to get out is walking up to the door. The motion sensor will pick you up, will unlock the mag lock. You push the dogged in exit device and you leave. In the event of the motion detector failing, that exit button is wired directly to the incoming power. So when you open that circuit, the power will drop and you can exit. That's code. Code required.
If the power goes off, you can just leave.
If the power drops, you can leave, provided there's not battery backup, which would be very common as well. So if you've got battery backup, the issue is that push button will interrupt that flow of current. It'll open the circuit. So that's why the push button is required, because you could have auxiliary power running, a building generator, or batteries within the power supply itself. From the outside getting in, you can swipe, you can get in. Now, what's the problem with this? And the client's done this. This job is installed, but what's the problem with the installation?
Doesn't pass code?
Exactly, but for what reason doesn't it pass code?
Because they've never written a code for this. I don't know what to tell you.
Well, there is code, and they've done everything to code, but the problem that they have is, what if I go up and I undog that device?
Oh, yeah. Well, you got to hit.
I can hit the exit device, and I can't get out.
Of course, yeah, I can see that could deliberately happen. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen accidentally. It would have to be some guy who's up to no good. It
could happen deliberately, because you'll note as you hit panic device hardware, it will put wear and tear on the rest of the parts.
Jump off the track.
The dogging mechanism could pull off of what's holding it. That's possible. I've never really heard that. It could be cylinder dogging, which doesn't really matter. But that's inherently the problem.
So wouldn't it have been cheaper just to pull off that obsolete panic device and put a new one on?
Well, they opted for the low-hanging fruit, to leave it in place. Now, what you would need to have with this, because my first question when the client said we added a push button, a mag lock, and a motion detector, I said to him, what did you do for the request to exit switch in the panic device? Because a request to exit switch, when you hit the device, it opens the circuit, cuts the power. That's how that would normally work.
And does it reset like 30 seconds later automatically?
Sure, whatever that timer is set for. Because you would want a timer so that when the door closes, it's not a loud clanking. Because now you've got, let's say, 1,200 pounds of force of that armature hitting the face of the magnetic lock. You don't want it to clank. So I would have a timer for so many seconds so the door closed, and then the bond was allowed to, once it was re-energized, the bond the field would recreate. So the door was locked. But the client doesn't understand that as long as I can undog that device, he's got a major problem. I go up and hit that sucker and I'm not getting out because the mag lock is at 1,200 pounds.
1,200 pounds. You're printing sheet music, are you?
Again, thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.